Now let's take a deep dive into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Cal Gadraj, and let's queer up the USA view. Anti-DEI group sues Michigan Law Review for bias against straight white men. An anti-diversity group is suing the University of Michigan and its student-run legal journal, the Michigan Law Review, claiming it discriminates against straight white cisgender men. The lawsuit, filed in June in federal court in Detroit, comes from a group called Faculty, Alumni, and Students Opposed to Racial Preferences, known as FASORP. The nonprofit says its mission is to restore meritocracy in academia. FASORP claims the Michigan Law Review violates federal anti-discrimination laws, specifically Title VI and Title IX, by using race and sex preferences to select its members and articles. According to the group, quote, left-wing students and affirmative-action devotees at the University of Michigan Law School were unhappy with the demographic makeup produced by merit-based selection. The Michigan Law Review, with the approval of the acquiescence of University of Michigan General Counsel's office, has implemented a corrupt and legal scheme of race and sex preferences to select its student members, end quote. According to the complaint, just 40% of law review staffers are selected solely based on application scores. The rest are picked by a holistic review committee, which considers applicants' personal essays, where they are allegedly encouraged to reveal their race, sex, sexual orientation, or gender identity. FASORP alleges the process is rigged to ensure more women, non-Asian, racial minorities, and queer students are chosen. This lawsuit echoes concerns raised earlier this year by Department of Education official Craig Traynor, who warned universities not to use personal essays to determine race and admission decisions, threatening loss of federal funding. The University of Michigan responded to the lawsuit, saying it remains steadfast in its commitment to following the law and will defend itself. FASORP says it's suing on behalf of 4 straight cisgender men, 3 law professors whose articles were allegedly rejected, and 1 student who applied to the law review. None are named in the suit. A similar case FASORP brought against Harvard Law Review in 2019 was dismissed because the group didn't identify its members, raising questions about whether this case will stand.
Get him, Cal. Get him, Cal. Get him.
It's quite interesting. I did my dissertation on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I'd be the first to admit that a lot of organizations across the country got DEI wrong, which is why we're in this position that we're in. For this group of individuals to feel that, they've been slighted by the rules that were created for equitable access is just absurd. I can see that, with admission essays and things of that nature, people use their personal stories, and it's very hard not to identify, your sexual orientation or your race or your background, your socioeconomic status without telling your own personal story. And that is what makes it equitable. These stories are what gets thousands of students across the country into some of the best universities in the world that are here in the United States. So for this group of, individuals to feel that they were slighted because maybe they just weren't good enough.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
Listen, if you're straight, white, and cis and mad that diverse voices are finally getting a seat at the table, you might not be oppressed, boo. You might just be used to freaking privilege. That's what's going on, all right? This lawsuit feels less like justice and more like a tantrum.
Yeah. I also want to know what the data shows, like what's the trend from the past to now of who's on the review board and how this process, was it implemented before, and how long has this process been being diversified? Like, I want to see the portfolio. I want to see the trend. Like, was it all straight white men before? And now all of a sudden you get more women, more Asians, more blacks, more queer voices. And it, like you said, it feels like oppression, but it's just that you're sharing.
No, they're just sharing. They're just upset. They're upset that they didn't get selected. and it happens. I mean, I've submitted my dissertation to review editorial boards across the country. Some have been published and some haven't been published, and it's fine, because it goes, towards whatever that review board wants to be able to publish.
And is looking for.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. But for these few white individuals who didn't get what they want, sorry.
But see, that's the point.
Yeah.
We're used to going,
Oh, well.
okay.
Yeah.
If not that, then that, then that. But when you're used to getting everything, when you're used to everybody saying yes, even to your mediocrity or you're below average.
Like, what do you mean no? Like,
what do you
can't
mean
tell me no?
I'm white.
Yeah.
And I'm straight.
Yeah.
And I'm straight. What do you say?
And I was born white and straight. Are you sure? Wow. And that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.